Why waste your time dating somebody who is not gonna elevate your life?
I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings, and it takes you your whole check to take me there. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacationing on holiday for the month.
Give it up for the LisaRaye McCoy. Playing the role of Diamond, did that affect you from booking other roles because people only saw you as that?
Of course it did.
Your very public second marriage, obviously the infidelity and the alleged misappropriating the funds and all that stuff. Were the signs there and you chose to ignore it because you were in love?
I was not in love.
You weren't in love?
No.
Did your ex ever sleep with one of your friends?
Mm-hmm.
Celebrity friends?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them?
Mm-hmm.
Were you the one who had to tell Tisha Campbell that her man was cheating on her?
Because we had a one-on-one discussion. And for him to bald-facedly say, hey, if it ain't me, it's gonna be somebody. It was like, what?
And unfortunately, he wasn't the only celebrity male friend of yours who would do that. You alleged too that Nicole Murphy had relations with your ex-husband. Were you two friends?
She was at my bachelorette party. But you know what? At that time, my mother told me then. She said, but you gotta watch that one then. And she was right. She was dating Michael Strahan, so I called him. Let me send you a tape that I have of proof, And so I did. Friends don't do that now. Where I come from, south side of Chicago, that's an ass whooping.
One of your really good friends, Vivica Fox, was one of the reasons the falling out had to do with the fact that you felt your friends weren't there for you?
When I went to complain and say, I feel like a princess in a glass house, no one understood that.
Are you and Vivica good now? When you saw Will Smith slap Chris Rock in honor of defending his wife, was that the behavior of the Will Smith that you knew?
Now we know all the shenanigans is going on. It's like, you protecting against what and who? She can do that herself. She was laughing.
Were you surprised about the Entanglement announcement?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You did Cocktails with Queens.
Yes.
It was a huge hit. It was you, Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, Claudia Jordan.
So it became a show for me that I no longer wanted to do and be a part of anymore.
You quit? Hey Raindrops, now before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about joining my community. Yes, my YouTube community of subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps build the channel and build our community. I love it when you guys comment and post. So remember, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Hey Raindrops, on today's episode of Reality with the King, this is Hollywood Royalty Edition. Y'all know I'm used to talking to the reality stars. However, I am in the presence of greatness. From my father to my brothers and to every man I know, they are jealous of me right now because I'm here with by far, and I've met a lot of girls, a lot of women. And when I tell y'all this woman is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen without makeup too, okay? She's real, she's my Libra sis. I am wearing all white because of her, because today we are honoring the living legend. Give it up for the LisaRaye McCoy.
When I tell you that I have heard it all, but every time I do, it's a pleasant surprise to me of how much it affects me and touch my heart, because it's a reality check that I am a good person and I am all of those things that you said. So thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No, listen. We've known each other for a couple of years, and when I say to you, you're not only, listen, you are strikingly gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And when I say strikingly, I've been around you without makeup. And I remember you like, boy, I gotta go put some makeup on. I said, oh, you're not wearing any? You are flawless. And on top of that, you are cool as shit. You are a fun, down-home girl.
I am.
And I feel like you're also very underrated and underappreciated.
You are speaking the truth. I'm just gonna turn my mic off because go ahead.
Do you feel that way?
I do. And everything you said. And I'm also funny and I'm lighthearted. But I think the persona that I have of LisaRaye don't take no shit, which is true, with all that comes with that, they think I'm so no nonsense. But I'm really actually silly. And I love being at home. I love popping my own popcorn, being on the couch. I love cooking. I love being silly. Like my mother used to always say, when you gonna grow up? And I would go, why? You know what I mean? Because I got all the responsibilities and I'm holding that down, so I'm doing that. Why not be silly? Why not have fun? Why not you don't have to take yourself so serious, you know what I mean? Because I can do that over here. When I'm at home, it's like, let's have some fun, you know? So yeah, you're right, but you've had the opportunity for us to be together and to see me like that. But a lot of people don't get a chance to see me that way because, you know, I'm inside of a studio or I'm doing a show, an interview, and it's like, you know.
And I want to ask you this, because I want to have a real conversation with you. Okay. You do not do a lot of interviews.
No.
And I'm honored that you said yes to me. And she told me, I don't do interviews, but I'll say yes to you, and I'm proud of what you're doing. So I want the world to know she's also very complimentary. But being a beautiful woman and growing up beautiful, how was that for you?
That means nothing to me. It almost, you know, surprises people around me because when I get those compliments, I'm almost like, okay, I get it. Or, yes, I've heard that before. I know that I'm not an ugly woman, but beauty to me is just a little bit of who you could be. Because what's so inside and with your attitude and the way that you treat people is so much bigger to me. What you have to offer is so much bigger to me because I have met a lot of people that are beautiful that you go, and you have that stank face, like, you know what I mean? And it means nothing because you're going to walk away from that person just as well. I don't want that. I want people to really try to get to know me and give me a chance. Because when you give me a chance, I bet you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Has your beauty been a hindrance in your career?
It's a blessing and a curse.
Tell me how.
Because I just feel now in the last maybe 6 years that I've been able to play roles that I should have been able to play a long time ago per my age. You know, I've been grown for a long time, but I always play the woman, the sex symbol, the woman next door kind of thing instead of the girl next door that can be fresh and can be the attorney or the doctor or whatever. You know, now I'm getting a chance to play grown up roles. And I could have been played those long time ago, but, you know, Players Club follows me wherever I go. And that's not really necessarily a bad thing because my start and my beginning is just that. It got me in the door. But I've struggled to say, I can do that too. And can you give me an opportunity to do this? You know? And, you know, a lot of times what people don't really realize is that when you go to auditions, they sometimes have the person already picked who they want. You know, and then it's a political game. It's like if that's a dark-skinned person, they want a light-skinned person next to them. If they tall, they want somebody a little shorter. It's a politics game. You know what I mean? So it's not always about your talent. A lot of times it's not. It's about relationship too.
Speaking of relationships, you know, one of the things that we're seeing in this, I feel like there's a Hollywood and hip-hop reckoning happening at the same time. And you're somebody who obviously did music videos, but you also, like you said, did Players Club and tons of acting gigs. What was your experience in that era of Hollywood? Like, were men propositioning you to sleep with them in order to guarantee your role?
I have never been part of a casting couch. I have never been propositioned. And you know, we talk about that all the time with the Me Too movement going on and everybody up in fire, you know. But I don't know if it's my facial expression. I don't know if it's my demeanor. I don't know if it's my about it or my Chicago vibe. But whatever it is, I'm glad that I have not ever been introduced to anything that I didn't want to do. I don't know. To me, no means no. And I don't get bored quick. You know what I mean? So I'm not bored where I feel like, oh, I need to be entertained, so now I'm going to do some dumb shit. You know what I mean? That's not who I am. I've always been a family person. I've been a mom from the first day I stepped in LA. So I've always been responsible, meaning I knew that I had a little person that was relying on me to not make those dumb mistakes. So I still had to hit the pavement, meaning I had to hit the concrete and knock on doors still. We didn't have social media then, you know. I didn't deem myself as a sex symbol. I wasn't looking and saying, hey, see me, see me. that was not what it was about. I did, Today's Black Men and Vibe and Source Magazine because they asked me to do the interview and they felt that I was a sex symbol. So my career was, sex symbol. And it was like, oh, yeah, really? Okay. And I went with it. I never felt like I was sexy. I don't see myself sexy now.
Really?
I see myself poised. I see myself as a grown woman. I see myself as a pretty lady, but to be just oozing sex and all that, I feel like that I've asked many men and women, what do you find sexy about me? What is it? And a lot of times they'll say some old corny shit that's like, that's it, the way I eat, the way I talk. You know what I mean? And it's like, but if I would have known what sexy was or is, I probably would ham it up and just mess it up. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with if they feel that I'm sexy. That's a wonderful thing. It's great.
So what would you tap into when you would do the music videos and you play Diamond? What were you did you have to go to a different place? Because you killed Diamond. And I feel like, and this is no shade to anybody, I feel like today you can still play her.
Oh my goodness, my body could. But I feel like, I was a model before. So when you're doing that cat run and the cat show and the runway, you become someone else. You're mimicking, what you've seen on TV and videos and your aunt and who you thought was beautiful, And I've done that. But it is like this. It's on and off. Like literally, I could be taking pictures and it's like the music stopped and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And so I don't really know how that happens to just turn it on or turn it off. I just think that it's more of a performance. It's like you're on and it's like, okay. And you rise to the occasion. At least I do.
When you look at the industry now, do you feel like it's easier to get into Hollywood? Because one of the things that I have realized, and I just turned 45, okay? And I love it.
I
and
can't
I'm
say
telling
welcome
the world.
to the club because my
Being over 40 is fantastic, but it also means we have a lot of history and we have a lot of memories from the good old days. Mm-hmm. And one thing I do share with my audience is the fact that back in the day, there was this sense of exclusivity. Mm-hmm. You had to be somebody in order to get into these rooms and to go to these places and to get these jobs. Mm-hmm. And you had to work. And you had to have an acting coach. Mm-hmm. And you had to study the craft. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like
the art of keeping it real has really taken over now? Like keeping it real is just too TMI.
Do you like that?
And that's the way it is. It's like that. And you have to respect the levels. And what I mean by that is that our moms and dad didn't do it the same way that we did it. And we're not doing it the same way that the millennials are doing it. And guess what? The baby boomers and the Gen X's and all of that is going to do it totally different too, because the time is moving differently. We were talking about Elon Musk, his $30,000 robots that can babysit and can clean your house. I was like, I remember that. It's called the Jetsons. Remember that cartoon, The Jetsons? Yeah. And all of that stuff now is coming true. Back then we watched that, it was so futuristic. Now, not so much. So you have to move with the times. And so I respect that. Do I feel that they should have media training? Yeah. Do I feel like they should have someone to coach them through? Yes. Artist development is still real. It should be. Because then you're going to have the TMI too real, and now the kids are learning things that they don't need to learn too soon, too early. It's like too much.
When you look back on your career, do you feel like you missed out on a lot of opportunities that were deserving to you?
I'm going to tell you what one I should have did. As soon as I finished Players Club, like King of Diamonds in Miami, it should have been Queen of Diamonds everywhere. And I would have sold lingerie. I would have been a No, I'm just kidding. No. Escort. No, just kidding. No. But I would have got those girls together. You know what I mean? I'd have been making a whole lot more money then. And then I could have turned it over to my daughter and still kept it in the family as a legacy. You know what I mean? It's, now mama getting older. You go ahead and handle it. And when I'm in the strip club, that's right, I said when I'm in the strip club, when I go, it's almost like they press the button. She's here. And it's like Diamond gets all the dances. And I promise you, sometime I have to go, girl, if you don't get your titty out my face. You know what I mean? It was a movie, kind of thing. But I can't take myself too serious because that was my beginning. And I know that those jobs are an opportunity for those women to leave the position and the level in which their life is in to graduate to do something else. That's real. You know what I mean? So when I'm in there and I see them and I see the younger girls and I see the older ones that should just give it,
retire.
Yeah, they should retire. It's like, oh, hey, girl. You know what I mean? But I'm like everybody else. I got to roll with the punches.
So that's interesting because back then there wasn't, it's like you said, there was no social media, but there also wasn't this sort of concentration of endorsement deals.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, like you played this iconic stripper, right? And when you look even now, like Jocelyn Hernandez has her show, the Cabaret. And, there's deals and concerts and tours she's doing. I didn't even think about that. Like, if there was a world in which somebody would have guided you and said, baby, Black folks love you. You got a Black audience, which by the way, everybody wants a Black audience. They really do because we are the architect that was cool. So unfortunately, you didn't have somebody guide you. And do you feel like that speaks to how the industry was back then when it comes to Black actresses?
Because it wasn't accepted as much back then. That movie, Players Club, and my character Diamond put stripping and dancing back on the map. It made it cool. It made it acceptable. But it wasn't so much for me as the actress because they were trying to come for me. They were coming for me because I was a single parent and that I showed my breast and what would make you do that? You have a daughter. And it was like...
These are other actresses?
These are other people.
Okay.
The public. They didn't make it easy for me to do and play Diamond. And I was thinking, who wouldn't take this opportunity? I am working with Jamie Foxx, Bernie Mac, rest in peace, my Chicagoan, Michael Clark Duncan, my other fellow Chicagoan, rest in peace. You had Alex Thomas, you have Terrence Howard, you have John Amos, rest in peace. All these people, and I have an opportunity to do what I came out here to do, which was play pretend. I'm playing a character. So I'm acting. This is a role, and I'm getting paid. That's a triple threat right there. So congratulations to me, but I didn't have that so much. So when I could think about maybe going to do strip clubs and Queen of Diamonds or Diamonds or whatever, it was like, maybe that's not so good. I shouldn't, I shouldn't do this. This isn't something that is looked upon like this is a great opportunity. So I suppressed it and was like, okay.
In hindsight, do you think playing the role of Diamond, did that affect you from booking other roles because people only saw you as that?
Sure it did. I was the pretty girl. I was the sex symbol. And so we just want her to be pretty. But because I always had a lot of personality, even off screen, people would go, well, you know what, she's so cool. And it's something else to her, you know what I mean? But they could not deny that everyone knew me from that role, that way, and that look. So they wanted to still help and continue me in that way, but not in ways that I felt like I could stretch. I did a small film called, independent film called Civil Brand with director Nima Barnett. And it was, my sister was in it, Brad, Tashina Arnold, Mos Def, Lark Voyez. It was a lot of people that was in it. And it was about a woman that was in prison for killing her husband from abuse. I had no makeup, no hair, no nails, one of my best roles to date. I didn't have all that to worry about. See, playing pretty is difficult. You got to keep the hair coiffed. You got to make sure your eyelashes is on evenly. Do I need any more gloss? All of that. When I have a purse, I got to put the purse down at the same time, in the same way, take after take after take. When you just playing you and a different kind of character where you're not having to watch yourself play pretty and suck in, tuck out, and push out and talk, that's a lot. When you're just being you in a character that you don't have all of that to worry about, then it's about the character.
Is there one role you really wanted that you didn't get? Or maybe you missed out and didn't audition for it and you're like, damn.
I thought I wanted How to Be a Player because the director, Duane Martin, was directing Tupac's last video, which I did. It was the night before Tupac got shot in Vegas. I auditioned for that video because I knew that Duane Martin was the director and I wanted a part in the movie. And I did. I got, an interview with him, and he did not like my my take on it. And I thought, oh, I missed out. But I didn't, because after that, Players Club audition came, and I got that. And the whole movie was about Diamond, my character. So I was like, oh, okay, show me. Won't he show you? Won't he do it? Yes, he will, So I can't really say because, in this business, you get a lot more no's than you do yes. And you really got to prepare yourself for that, to leave it where you started at. You know what I mean? What's for you is for you. There was a role, what was the name? Diary of
Interview with a Vampire?
Yep. When I got that script, I read it like a book. And I was like, oh, but it was so intricate and so dark till I was thinking, oh, it was a church scene that they had. And I kept thinking, oh, I can't say all of this in church. This too much. This too heavy for me. You know what I mean? And I did not even interview. I didn't audition. And I saw it on TV. And it made me go, really, girl? That was your role. And it was a role that I could come in and out of. And it was like, that was it.
Yeah.
And I watch it faithfully too. And I just kicked myself like, thinking that I would have gotten the role, of course. You know what I mean? But it's like, but that's probably the only one. You know what? But every role I see, I'm like, I could do that. I didn't know about that audition. They didn't call me for that.
You still feel that way?
Mm-hmm. But everything, because ultimately you just want to work.
Yeah.
You want to work with many different people. You want to get paid. You want the exposure. You want to stay relevant. All of that. And only work does that for you.
You've done a lot of videos. One of my favorite was the Cisco video.
Oh.
And we saw you at the VMAs. There was this rumor that I want you to address. Did you and Cisco ever date? No.
But he was big time at that time.
Huge.
Mm-hmm. And I realized the association and how my team was like, no, you should actually hang out with him, because if he wants to hang out with you and take you, because I think I went to the first appearance we had was the Wild Wild West premiere.
Yes.
I don't think that I ever would have had a chance to go if it wasn't for him, because I damn sure didn't get an invitation. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, when he asked me, it was like, yes, I want to go. You know what I mean? And then we developed a friendship. And that's what people kind of kill me about the Hollywood stories. It's like relationships are key. Building relationships is key. It's not always about, I slept with this person, I'm dating that person, or I'm with that. No. I can't say nothing about the height. They're different because we know, folks go, different strokes for different folks. But I think people kind of know my type about now. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm not gonna say he wouldn't be, but he was a little shorter than I would want, But we, to this day, like this. He's someone that when you hear that he's in concert, I'm like, oh, that's my friend. Let me call him.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to come see you. New Editions in town. Hey, Bobby, remember back in the day? Yes, I want to come. I want to eat backstage passes too. It's the same, you know what I mean? Just fun. And I knew that at an early, tender age in my, career.
A lot of men wanted you.
Okay.
Who was the most famous guy you dated?
I don't really think, probably my first husband, which was Tony Martin of the San Diego Chargers, and he was on the Atlanta Falcons, and then he went on to the Miami Dolphins. I think so, because you know what? I haven't really dated anybody in LA. Like, I do long distance relationships. And I do them well, because I feel like you got your time to do what you need to do. I got my time to do what I need to do. And we have money enough between the both of us to get me wherever I need to be to see you. So that works for me. I've always been afraid to date in LA. I heard stories and,
what stories
about
you
the
heard
parties, about the Down Low Brothers, and about all of that. And I'm like, I ain't for none of that. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be playing with me. I don't want to be no notch on nobody's belt like I had her. I've never been no fuck girl. You know what I mean? None of that.
You never had a hoe phase?
No. Nope. I'm a relationship girl. Now I can do the relationship on the under, but I'm gonna have somebody. Like people be thinking I'm single, and it's like, okay, you know what I mean? But I make it what I want it to be. But I like to feel warm and fuzzy, and I can't feel that way if I know that you out here with her, and her. That don't make me feel warm and fuzzy at all. Not even when you just with me and you in my face. It's like, I wonder when he leaves me, where is he going? I don't want to have to wonder that. I don't have to think about all of that. That's the least thing I need to think about. You're going to start trying to make me feel insecure, and I am not. I know I'm a good woman, and I want to be good to whatever man that deserves that.
And what I think people don't understand is you are, and tell me if I'm wrong, but being around you and seeing you at your home, you are a domestic woman, and you are a wife. You know, like you are really a wife, and you don't mind taking care of your man, as long as he obviously takes care of you and respects you and provides for you. Is that the reason why it's been maybe challenging to find somebody that is your happily ever after?
It's been challenging because when they first step to me, they think they're getting one thing. And then they get deeper because I'm more of some things than they ever expected. And what I mean by that is that you see me and that's LisaRaye, the woman from Players Club. That's Diamond. That's every other character that I've played. She's a freak. She's sexy. She's this. She's going to be turning me upside down, you know? And I'm actually not that at all. How I'm going to turn you upside down is that you're going to like those little things about me, that when you leave me, you're going to miss me because I'm going to bring a certain energy to your life that's not boring, that is sexy, that's domesticated, and that is that person that is fun, loving, and family. That to me is the core of who I am. I am family. And I don't want anybody else to see me like that because I don't wake up like that. That's my job. That's what I do. That's what I created. That's when they say action. You're welcome to come to work with me and see that girl. And a couple of times in the bedroom, you'll see, you know, a couple of characters too. You know what I mean? But that's our business. You know what I mean? Like Tamala says. But when I don't play characters, you get a rawness that I need you to like and love too. So give me that opportunity and that chance to show you that girl. And when you do, you're stuck. You're stuck. I have met people that's like, I had no idea. And I go, yeah, and you never would have if you wouldn't have been here. But everybody don't get to see that girl because everybody don't deserve to see that girl. That's my private life. You know, I got to keep something sacred. And I'm learning that more and more and more, even now. Just some of the rumors and some of the things that they talk about, I'm not even interested in talking about them anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think. Yes, no, up, down, across the way. Okay. All right. I am a grandmother now. I'm caring about what my family is thinking about me. I'm caring about me and my me space, where I have to go, what I have left, what my legacy is going to be, how I'm going to make passive income. That's what I'm looking. I'm not even looking for a man, really. You know how they say that he'll find you so you don't go looking for him? It's like, girl, please, you know. I know that when the time comes, it's going to come. But that don't mean that I'm not, you know, I'm not lonely. I'm alone sometime. But lonely, I got too many people around me. My granddaughter just, that unconditional love that she gives me. And when I tell you I laugh every day and cry, because the love that she had, it just fills me up so much. Till I can't believe that I was mad at my daughter for getting pregnant in the first place. I was like, oops, okay, I'm glad she's here. You know what I mean? But when I look at her, she does it for me. She put everything in perspective for me. Yeah.
Did a lot of that have to do with your very public second marriage? I mean, you were the first lady. And LisaRaye McCoy, baby. Honey, before Meghan Markle.
Yes.
Let's have a real conversation. You owned it. And I don't know if you know this. Maybe you do. The Black community was so proud of you.
Yes.
And we were, no, like, seriously, we were like, because you are regal and you have all this class. And we were so proud that you were in that position because you really, this is what people don't know. you really took that position very seriously in terms of working with the locals and working with the officials and making sure that people had their just due and making sure the rights were there. Did that public relationship damage you in some way?
Of course it did. I was very embarrassed about the shenanigans that took place and how it was even handled. And how it was kind of swept under the rug on just how much that I did for Turks and Caicos Islands. You know, I was aware of some people going to like you, some people are not. But I don't think that people understood that I left my career. I left what I was trying to build in my dreams to go over to another country. So I had no friends there. I had no family there. I had no one there for me, no support for me. It was just he and I. And I then was thrown into becoming this first lady with no protocol, with no, this is how you're supposed to do it, and this is what we expect of you. And it was like, what do you want to do? And it's like, what am I supposed to do? What can I do over here? It's new laws, it's different rules, everything is different over here, you know? So I don't know who can show me, teach me, tell me, you know? And I didn't have that person. And so it made me have to sit back and go, what can you tackle that you know how to do so you can make a good impression? And I knew that I love kids. So I bought the first, carnival, Christmas carnival over to the country. They had never seen any rides and carnivals and, games and stuff like that. And I bought a middleweight fight over there, Zab Judah. And I started the film festival. And then I just attached myself to what and who I am, entertainment. So the film festival, the music festival, I would call people and say, hey, it's a small country. We can't afford to pay you your rate and definitely what you deserve, but can I make it a vacation out of you for you and your family and come and put a little money in your pocket and you can allow me to shine with my people all over here? And everyone that I called, I must say, everyone that I called, they came. Alicia Keys, Lionel Richie, LL, Cedric the Entertainer, Chris Tucker, everybody, because they were proud of me and they knew what I was trying to do. And it's not really until I do interviews that I recall and remember just how much I've done. I think somehow I kind of tried to come back and regain what I left, which was a part of my career, a part of who I was. It was like, who am I now? Am I still LisaRaye? Am I still a sex symbol? Do I still got it? Do I reinvent myself? Like, where do I go when I came back from off of the divorce, And I was in survival mode, for me. In my own country. It was like, let me go back to the 50 states that love LisaRaye. You know what I mean? Forget this one island, But I did my thing there. I really put Turks and Caicos on the menu and on the mark, because when I go back up, I went there a couple of years ago and I saw some young ladies on the plane and they were whispering, and I had on my, hat or whatever. And so I kind of raised up a little bit to tell the fellas where my bags were, because I still go around the back,
Mm-hmm.
And I heard them go, oh, that's her. That's her, And I looked at them and I said, normally we wouldn't be here, but I see that they're still coming. That's me. I did that. And it makes me very, very proud. But it also makes me say, if you can do that over there, what are you standing for and doing over here in your own country? So now my awareness is much different than it was. But I thank them for giving that to me, and the opportunity.
When you were going through the scandal of your ex, obviously the infidelity and the alleged, misappropriating the funds and all that stuff, right? Hindsight is always 20/20.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ignore some of the signs? Were the signs there and you chose to ignore it because you were too busy trying to, be first lady and you were in love?
No and no. On both of those. I was not in love.
You weren't in love?
No. I loved him, but I wasn't in love yet.
Even when you married this man?
Yeah, that's right.
LisaRaye McCoy, I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you married him, you weren't in love with him.
Mm-mm.
Why'd you marry him?
Because I was dating him. And we had this whirlwind romance, and I knew that I was going to continue dating him. And I knew the setup is that he was a politician and that it would look much better for the politician that's single to be married and to have a union and a partner. And what better way to do that than get the starlet from Hollywood to come and join you? And so he said to me, I want to date you in our marriage. And I said, well, let me think about that, because you know what? You're absolutely right. That's exactly what we will be doing. That's exactly what everyone does in a marriage every day. You're dating your husband. You're dating your wife every day under the rules and law of matrimony. Yeah, I can do that. Let's do it. And that's exactly how it happened.
How long did y'all date before you got married?
Well, it ended up being months, but he asked me to marry him a month after we met. So I guess we were planning, to do it, right after that.
Do what?
The marriage.
Do the marriage after that.
And then I got a little nervous in there because it was like, well, wait a minute. That means that I would be the first lady? Oh, well, wait, what am I going to have to do? Do I have to give up my career? Will I have to live here? Because, again, I'm used to long distance relationships. So I'm like, and all of that kind of clouded my judgment. I was like, I just find you charming. And I know that we will have a great life together. And I know that we can accomplish a lot of business together. And I know that we can do some things. But first lady, I don't know. And then we called off the wedding at first, and then all of my friends and my family was like, girl, are you crazy? You know what I mean? And I was honest with him. I was like, I don't know what that's going to mean. I came to LA to become an actress, and I'm not done. And he would say to me, you don't have to finish off anything that you don't want to. I want you just the way that you are. And he said all the right things. And even today he says the right things when I talk to him.
Y'all still talk?
Oh, yeah, we do. And I just was like, it was like a fairy tale. And I don't know anyone that would have said no. And now looking back in hindsight and looking at what these young ladies do today, I set the mark for them.
LisaRaye, mother McCoy.
Yeah.
You taught these girls got to get flued out.
Hello now.
You are the original baddie. This is what I'm fascinated by this. And I'm fascinated by
I was too.
No, about your honesty too, because the thing is this. A lot of these girls will never admit, like, okay, I met this man. He's into me. I may not be in love with him, but I see the potential because, listen, let's have a real conversation. Marriage is a business, okay? A lot of these girls nowadays, and this always happened, but you are the OG. Everybody wants to marry somebody that can teach them something and elevate them.
Elevate.
You should, at least. I hope that's what you're looking for, and because you can do bad by yourself.
I say it all the time, but they want to give me a bad, rep for it. But I don't care because my thing is I can stand on what I've accomplished. I'm an accomplished actress. I'm successful in my own right. You can find a whole slew of people out there that's doing it better than I. But for me and my family, I am doing great. So that means I want to match my swag. I want you to do great too. Because can you imagine the greater things that we can do together? Come on, somebody. Hello. What you say? Oh, those are the bitches in the back. Yes.
Were you sexually attracted to him?
We had a one-night stand. When he came to get me, we had an 18-hour date that was fantastic. And
explain to me this 18-hour date. I had a 3-hour one the other day.
No.
And I thought a 3-hour date was good. You telling me 18 hours?
I was in Jamaica hosting a whole entire week in hedonism. And he said to me, can I come over to take you to dinner because you're not that far from Turks and Caicos Islands? I said, absolutely. I'm doing this week. Come on over, whatever. So he comes and he takes me and all my friends and my family to this restaurant. The restaurant was kind of slow. And I'm like, what is going on in the restaurant? My cousin said, girl, he didn't close down the restaurant for you. I said, oh, I like that. And he should, absolutely, So I'm already, feeling like he got some style here. And he goes to the party with me. And him and his entourage is over to the side, but he's watching me, but he's still content and secure enough to let me do my thing. And I watch everybody in the party. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, okay, he know how to get in where he fit in. He not doing too much. He's laid back. I like all of this vibe that he's giving. And he walked me to my hotel door and he said, I would love to host you in Turks and Caicos Islands. You're not far. We had talked on the beach for hours until the sun came up about everything, And I said to him, I'll let you know. I have 2 more days here. I'll let you know. I went inside. Everybody was up waiting on me. Like, how was it? I said, it was great. I had fun. We talked about da-da-da-da. I said, you guys want to go to Turks and Caicos? They was like, hell yeah. I said, let's go. I called him. I said, well, we are going to come.
We.
Mm-hmm. That's how I roll, And so he said, no problem. And he came back to get us. And to me, I said, you going to come back and get me. So that meant he was on a private plane. And I'm with that as well. We got on the plane, maybe an hour into the snooze. I looked out the window and I felt like, remember that show, The plane, Fantasy Island.
Yes.
I felt like that. I was like, wow, look at this water. Oh my God, it was beautiful. We landed. We went through customs in the back way, you know what I mean? And I already knew he had a little pub, right? I'm like, oh, no, and I heard on his card it said Minister of Tourism. The ministers that we call ministers over here is the godly ministers. So I don't know that mean anything different. I'm like, oh, God bless you. I curse too much. I know right now I'm going to say a couple of shit damn. So it may be a turn off for him or not, but I still got to be me, and then we'll find out on this date. So we go to this condo. He takes my friends and my family into this beautiful condo. But I noticed that, my bags had been left behind in the car. And, everybody else's bags is here at this condo. I said, oh, okay, let's see where this is going to go. Mm-hmm. We leave there. They change clothes. We get back in the car. We go to his house. Beautiful property. He had a couple of housekeepers come out to serve us mimosas, for a welcome drink at his home. And we went outside in the back, which was the beach, while he changed into some cargo shorts and a T-shirt. We jumped in his Jeep, and he playing rap music. I said, okay, just real, what is it, demure, right? And I was like, all right. So then we go down the way, and we get on his boat. And I said, this is going to be great. He took us around the island. He took us to Parakeet where Bruce Willis had a place and Donna Karan has a place. And it's a private island. And it was beautiful. We had a lunch that was fit for a king and a queen. And my friends and family went back on his boat, his yacht. And we stayed. And we stayed in Bruce Willis' place. And we talked. We went skinny dipping. We swam in the pool. We talked so much I called my mother that night and said, you have to meet him. You have to come here. Can you come Thursday? So this is what, even his charm, it let me know that I was going to see him again, definitely. We had a wild night. We was drinking all night and it went down and it was good.
It was good.
It was good. You know what I mean? And that morning I woke up and he said, I have 2 things to tell you. 1, you can get some sun because I know you like to tan, and here's some sun lotion. He says, and the other one is you have an hour, your flight leaves. And I said, what do you mean? I said, I gotta go. So I'm running around and I'm half wet, whatever. And he's driving me to the airport and we have a police escort. And I'm thinking, whatever and however they doing it over here, I like it. So I was like, go ahead. You know what I mean? So we get into the airport and I'm like, where's my friends and family? He's like, they're at the airport already. I said, he is handling everything. I go through the airport, we holding hands. I see this big picture of him on the wall. And I look at him and I said, why is your picture on the wall? He says, well, I am the premier. I said, what does that mean? He said, it's like the president. I said, cha-ching.
I love you so
Bingo.
much.
I said, see you Thursday. You know what I mean? And so, the deal was already sealed before I even saw him at the airport. But I can't say that he didn't make the deal sweeter. Of course he did. Success, no success.
Listen, because nobody wants to be real anymore. This is a real conversation because, listen, it's nice to be with a powerful man.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't make you a gold digger.
Mm-mm.
At all, because obviously people think you're a gold digger.
Mm-hmm.
That's LisaRaye, she can't. Why waste your time dating somebody who is not going to elevate your life? And
not even just that, but here's the thing. I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacationing on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me. You know it. You know it.
You forgot. He's enjoying this.
Yeah. So I don't really care about them saying that. So many people now, and it's only the women that don't know any better or the ones that have not experienced it.
Teach the girls.
Well, let mama show you.
No, teach
let
us.
Let auntie show you. You know what I mean? Because I've been there, done that. I'm not trying to be with anyone that I have to be a teacher. Life is spanking us right now. Life is our teacher. Can I live in a house where I'm always teaching you as well? That's too much. That's too heavy. I don't want that. I'm gonna teach you some things, on an everyday basis, but not where, the life lessons you were supposed to have and stored up on me, because I'm damn sure gonna give them to you. I'm world traveled. I'm well cultured. I'm talented. I'm successful. I'm domesticated. I'm family. You get all these things. Don't you know that I have a list as well? You need to have your list. Do I check the boxes that you need in a woman? Do you check the boxes for me? And one of them has to be accomplished, successful, powerful, and rich. It's other things, though. It's funny. It's God-fearing. It's family. It's generous. It's a leader. But see, those first four that I named, normally all those other things at the bottom come with that type of men. Mm-hmm. Because business men move differently, more strategic than the rest. Because their moves, they have a lot on the line to lose if they make the wrong decision. If you still trying to play it off and trying to figure it out and all of that, you kind of, you just give them a little bit. Bosses say, let me have that. And let I have one too. Exactly. And a boss bitch is going to say, exactly, that's what you were supposed to do. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my God, he said I can have one too. That's for the women that don't know no better. I'm deserving of. You're supposed to. The way that I was reared, I came from a two-part family, a mother and a father, not a single parent. So I saw my mother being the housewife and taking care of my father. I saw my father being the one that takes care of the family, mm-hmm. The provider, the leader. I saw that. It's all I know. It's all I know. And all I know is that my mother didn't work. Now, I'm a millennial woman, right? So I work and I know how to do both. So give me twofold then. Because you're not lacking anything. You get a bonus. You get both.
Teach the girls. I'm here for this.
Yeah.
So the thing is this. Okay, most women, though, if they know their man is cheating, who's powerful, he has all of this, they stay. They turn a blind eye. Why didn't you stay knowing that he cheated on you?
Well, I knew that we both were not 100% in this marriage. I knew that we were feeling our way through. And I knew that he was dealing with wanting me in a different capacity than what I could give him at the time. And so because I had left a relationship before and I was healing, and I didn't want him to feel that he was the rebound, but the fact of the matter is that he was, and I was going to give it a good old college try. And that's what both of us agreed to. We agreed to making it what we wanted it to be. So I knew that there was going to be some things that I would have to sweep under the rug, and I was willing to do that. But when it get too much dust under the rug and it becomes a lump in the rug and I may trip over it, then it's like I can't pretend like it's not there because I can't even vacuum it over it, which I wasn't vacuuming anyway, but you know what I mean. But the fact is that, again, I'm not a person that's just going to run. I'm not soft. I'm going to be in it with you. You know what I mean? We're going to take the ups and the downs. I'm not a fair weather friend. I'm not a fair weather wife. It's like, come on, But then when it becomes disrespectful and in your face, it made me say, oh, no, I don't love you that much to go through nothing like this.
He was disrespectfully cheating?
Mm-hmm.
In what way? How did that look for you?
Friends. You going out of town with my friends and propositioning people and taking even my male friends and making them, coerce with you. And it's like you put them in a compromising position because they're my friend. And now you're trying to buy their loyalty, and now they're feeling compromised. Like, I want to tell LisaRaye, but I still want to go out of town to Prague with him, and I still want to ride in a private plane, and I still want to be invited to the party. So I'm just going to plead the fifth and not say anything, and maybe that's it. And it's like, no. You have to remember, I introduced you to him. You're my friend. So I thought, but if we're not friends anymore, then let me know that. Then I know how to play you. But I was thinking that we were cool. We not cool? Just let me know. And I found a lot of that out. It made me go.
Did your ex ever sleep with one of your friends?
Mm-hmm.
Celebrity friends?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
A lot to me is more than one. And I'm going to say this too. I said, whatever it is that you're going to do, make sure you do it across the waters. Don't do it here. We got full staff. Our staff live underneath us. When I say the White House, our White House, we stayed in the White House in Turks and Caicos. So while we're arguing, we can't argue like the regular couple because our butler is in the next room. So now we got to, what are you doing? We're okay. Thank you. Why would you, you got to have some kind of coof, and he had none. And it was like they would call me and go, First Lady, we have someone here at the house and Premier's not here and we don't know what to do. She's inviting people over. What should I do? And I would go, what's her name?
Hold on. LisaRaye, you mean to tell me this man's mistresses will come to your home with her friends and try to take over the house?
Mm-hmm.
While you were living there?
And they didn't know how to. All they were doing was partying. And that's easy for you to think that that's what it takes to be a successful, wife to someone that's successful too, that we just party, with a purpose. But that's not all to it. You're not just destroying a marriage. You're destroying a couple that has a position in this country. That's different. That's added on responsibility. And so with all of my friends and people that knew that I was now this new first lady of this country, when you come over there to seek out my husband or to even be turned on by him or propositioned by him, however way it go, you should do what any rightful person would do and go, oh, I don't want to get in the middle of this. This too much. I made history. I am the first African-American actress to be a first lady. The first actress was Grace Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you try to, but it's always us, they try to bring us down. Why would you come in between that and try to destroy that for your opportunity when this opportunity is already new and you've interviewed me before and you knew that I was first lady? You knew what it was, but you came over for the parties anyway. And it's a lot of them that don't really know that I know that he slept with them. When you have pillow talk with someone, he wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my husband. So even though we found our way back to a friendship, it's just that. We're friends. So I still ask questions and go, you know what? What about that time? Did you sleep with her? He said, yeah. I go, really? He go, mm-hmm. And I go, wow. She's still in my face and she don't even think I know. So for that alone, for me here, and here's the thing, let me go on record saying that when I talk about my past of First Lady, it's not because I miss my life and I'm just waddling in that. It is because I'm doing an interview.
Yeah.
And to know what I've gone through is to know where I've been. That part of my past, I'm not embarrassed about it any longer. I find the good out of it. But there are things that happen that helps me move in a different way in my life now. So I'll never forget those things. And I can't forget because every now and then I see them. And I just have to smile and go.
You see these
Wow.
women who slept with your husband.
And guy friends that made him their friend and pushed me to the side.
You mentioned that Duane Martin was one of those guys.
Oh, you said it.
That was friends with him. Obviously, no shade to him, but we know him because of
Who
Tisha.
don't have no shade to him?
Well, no.
Oh, you said you don't have no shade. Oh, okay. Okay, I
You
got
are
it.
such a Libra. I love you so much. Because, we know him as Will Smith's best friend and obviously as the legendary Tisha Campbell's husband.
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband, sorry. I mean, at the time, yeah. Husband, but yes, ex-husband now. Were you the one who had to tell Tisha Campbell that her man was cheating on her?
Mm-mm. It wasn't my place. I did not, and I can't even answer that because I don't know. No, I was not in the room with him, obviously. I knew that there was some inappropriate things that was going on, that why he was coming back and forth to Turks, and I couldn't stop him from coming to my house when I would say to him, I no longer want you in the vicinity of me. You and I are no longer friends.
You said this to him?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he would still come over anyway?
Mm-hmm.
In your house?
Mm-hmm. My butler said to me, he said, First Lady, Mr. Martin is here. Premier is not here. So should he stay in the big house or do I give him one of the guest homes? And I didn't want to put my butler in the middle. I wanted to say, tell his ass to go home. But, and I said, I didn't even know that he was there, but wrapping my head around that, I'm thinking, why would he be husband when I've mentioned that I no longer want to even see him? So you all got that much business going on that you saying, forget me, that you just gonna have him come anyway. He not staying in the big house, but he's staying in the little house over here, the guest home.
But the fact that, because listen, my parents, very old school. My father fell out with his best friend because one day this man came over to our house to see my mother when my father wasn't home.
Oh, yeah, because old school men don't play that.
So that's what I'm saying. They don't play that. So the fact that Duane would fly all the way to Turks and come into that home and your husband not even there.
And that's why I can't respect him, because we had a one-on-one discussion. It was like, what are you doing? My marriage is new. I don't know what you do in your marriage. I don't even know how you conduct your marriage, but whatever it is, leave mine alone. I said this. And for him to just bald-facedly say, hey, if it ain't me, it's going to be somebody. It was like, what? Wow. I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, it's like every time I see him, I just look at him. I saw him at a party.
Recently?
It was like last year. And he parked in front of me in the valet. And, trying to be the bigger person. I was just like, oh. And I said, maybe we can talk about this, because it's been years, And I said, you want to talk about it? He said, I said, okay. And we kind of just left it like that. Because I don't know what he could possibly say to me. Or maybe, even from then to now, I'm sure that he has grown with his, with his opinion or whatever, or how he handled it. But I'm not so sure that he can ever say anything to me that would make me go, I got it. I understand now why you did that or why you took that position. I don't know what that is. I'm not harboring on it. Obviously, I've moved on with my life and he has too. But again, I'll never forget.
And unfortunately, he wasn't the only celebrity male friend of yours who would do this.
Because I feel like Michael, my ex-husband, thought that I have a friend now that's in Hollywood. So really, he could replace you because now he can bring me everyone in Hollywood that I need.
Do you think Michael used you to get into Hollywood?
I don't think that was the plan originally, but it didn't hurt. I was Hollywood. He should have. You know what I mean? Your wife is an actress. So it's like, what can I bring to the table to make us stronger and better? And that's what I had. So I don't think that was a bad thing.
Are you and Tisha Campbell still friends?
We are. And I understood when she and I were not speaking because that was her husband. And what am I going to say?
You think she blamed you?
No, not at all. But she was going through her own thing, because when I wasn't speaking to him and I said all kind of things about him publicly, she was upset because it was like, I got kids and my kids are reading all of this and they know you and they knew that you and Duane was on the show together. And so they're listening and looking at this and reading this and they're like, oh, maybe she knows something that we don't know about Dad. And I did not think about it that way. I did not. And when she brought it to my attention, I could not do anything but respect it and say, yeah. So when she couldn't speak to me or chose not to speak to me to keep down the peace in her home, I'm sure, and whatever other reasons, understood that. And when it was over, she and I got together, we hugged, we talked, and I simply said to her, I know that you were going to take your time to fill out whatever you needed to fill out. And I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through now, but I'm going to be here as much as you allow me to be. Because as a woman that has been there, done that, and as even a future person that is trying to find love again and doing it again, I knew that she and I would connect. And every now and then she'll send me a text and say, hey, thinking about you, love you, sis. And I feel the same exact way. It's growth, and when you can find yourself back to a situation where you have grown apart and you can grow back together and show people that something don't have to always keep you apart. You can grow up and out from that and say, that was then and this is now.
You alleged too that Nicole Murphy had relations with your ex-husband. Were you two friends?
Mm-hmm. Birthday parties. I've been to her house. She was at my bachelorette party. But you know what? At that time, my mother told me then. She said, but you got to watch that one there. And I was like, who? I said, the one dancing. She said, yes, that's Eddie Murphy's wife. She said, you got to watch that one.
Current wife at the time or ex at the time?
I want to say I think she was still married. Mm-hmm. They were still married. And I was like, no, And so, when your mom tell you something about new school, you feel like you old school, And she was right.
How did you find that out?
I had checked the manifest of my plane because we owned a plane. And so when you check that list, it says all the people that have rolled on the plane. And she didn't ride on it with me, and nor did she receive an invitation from me. So if you had a girlfriend that has her own island, I would think that you would call and say, hey, girl, I'm coming, because I was getting everybody to come. So why you would accept an invitation from him and you don't even know him is unbeknownst to me. I don't know how that could happen. Do you? I guess not.
I never owned a private plane or
not that part.
No, I mean, I don't know, meaning, yes, this is too rich for me. The manifest of the list, like, damn. So you saw her name on the list.
Mm-hmm. And I tried to call her. And, at first she said, no, I haven't been to Turks and Caicos. I have not been. And it was like, well, wait a minute, And then I called again, and then she stopped answering the phone. So at the time she was dating, at this time,
Michael
when
Strahan?
I found out, she was dating Michael Strahan. So I called him. And I said, hey, do you know anything about this? And, we talked or whatever. And I said, well, let me send you a tape that I have of proof, And so I did.
What tape? What was on the tape?
It was a tape of her and Michael where she was dropping Michael off at the private airport in her car. And they opened the gate and they pulled up to the plane, and she gets out and he gets out, and I go, oh, I didn't know y'all knew each other. And I'm going to leave it right there because that part is my business. The other part is someone else's business, which I've never, would speak on. But for me, that was enough. It was like, wow, I'm going to whoop your ass.
Me too. LisaRaye, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
No.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
I mean, you know.
I'm sorry. My bad.
That's just how much I was just like, what, bitch? You don't do that. Friends don't do that now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I would think an enemy would do, or somebody that I just don't know. But someone that you have to watch your girl. Where I come from, south side of Chicago, that's an ass whooping. That's an ass whooping. Period. I just had too many other things going on, but I can't say that I didn't try to get her.
You tried to fight Nicole Murphy?
I tried to. She did some old dumb shit, and I was like, "Who you talking to?" You know, and I had to let her know that I am not the one or the two. Because I'm not. I am not at all that ever.
When you told Michael Strahan, did he break up with her immediately?
No. Mm-mm.
Do you think he believed you?
Well,
you have the evidence.
Had to, right.
You have the evidence.
But that's one of those things that when you're in a relationship, you and your partner try to figure out, is this worth us breaking up? Or is, and I'm sure that they did that, so that was them, and it didn't make Michael and I break up either, you know what I mean? But it added to the things that I was dealing with. And for me, it was just like, yeah, this is all too much. I don't have to go through any of this. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to him. If you want to be with someone else or you want to be with everyone else, do that without me.
It's very disappointing because obviously you introduced, and the good thing is you two are friends, right? But at the time, you introduced this man into your world. You opened the doors to your world. He opened the doors to his world.
Yes.
You went into his world trying to make things right from a government perspective and from a global notoriety perspective. And the doors you're opening, he's using that to bring in women to sleep with and bring in wingmen to also join on this. That's very devastating. And it's happening publicly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's one of the worst things in the world, when you're in a relationship, is to know that you invited women around your husband being comfortable and they are going behind your back sleeping with him. It's that's beyond.
It's a rule of thumb where I come from. Like baby daddies and fiancés and husbands are off limit. But not so much these days. You know what I mean? And that's these days. We're talking about now longer than 10 years. It's been 10 years now, Back then, and I can't say that I'm down with it now. You know what I mean? I'm not dating one of my friends' ex-guys. It's too many men out here for me to have to do that, and we have to compare notes. I'm not doing that, But some, it's a, switch, and you switch, and now she with him and him with her. And when I want to taste of this, and I want to taste of her too. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's your prerogative, but it just wasn't mine, and you don't get to cut off my choice. My choice is if I'm going to accept this or not. If I want to be down with it, then okay. But I'm saying no. I don't want to be a part of this triangle, or a rectangle, or a circle. I'm not down with it.
When you was going through this, obviously you have a very, public friendship with Vivica Fox.
Wait, and let me just say this too.
Yes.
I have been very public about Nicole, when she did that, the shit with
Lila Rashawn's husband,
right
Antoine Fuqua.
You did your homework. And so I have talked about it before. But again, when she went on Wendy Williams to say that I lied, I was like, wait a minute, I talked to Michael the night before and said, hey, Nicole said, he said, she lying. I said, how many times you sleep with her? He said, about 2 or 3. I said, oh, okay. Okay, so I don't need her to honor the truth or to even say the truth. I don't care. I'm at a whole different place in my life, you know what I mean? But what I do know is what I do care about is don't come in my face. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Was she like physically in your face, like she was about to do something?
Oh, no, hell no. Absolutely not.
But I had to like draw the picture for the raindrops.
Leave the jokes to me. Cut it out.
I drew the picture for y'all. I had to like, demonstrate.
No, she visually waved at me, and I was thinking, who is she waving at? Because I know she's not waving at me. And so I went to go ask her, who Did you try to beckon me over here? Because here I am. Hi. You don't want to do it here? Oh, not a problem. We can go back here. Right here. And you can leave your friends. Oh, it don't look like they're coming anyway. Oh, sorry. But yeah. What you were going to say. So.
No, so, I mean, listen, what are your...
It's nothing that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? But it happened.
Yeah.
And it happened to me. And it's nothing good about it. You know what I mean? And it's a constant reminder because people ask me about it. It's part of my past, you know? And so they want to know. And because I have been vocal about it, you know, I would love to put it to rest. You know what I mean? Maybe after this, I can. You know what I mean? But when I look at my wedding pictures and I see my bachelorette party and I see her there, it makes me go, girl, you better be glad I am still maturing even now. Because I could really, you know.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
I know. Oh, I know. One of your really good friends is Vivica Fox, and you two had a very public falling out. When you was going through a lot of this, was one of the reasons the falling out had to do with the fact that you felt your friends weren't there for you?
Yes.
And she was
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone really knew just how much I was going through. Because when you try to divorce the man that's the president of the country, it's a really big deal. Everyone on the island is his people, not yours, you know? And so I knew that I had my friends that was like, are you sure? Girl, he's taking care of you, and he told me he loved you. And, you know, and I'm like, yeah, he would say all of those things. And I'm not saying that he didn't love me, you know? I'm just saying that kind and type of love I did not want in my life, you know? I didn't foresee that. I knew that it was going to be tough, you know, and not so much to fall in love with him because I honored that. I was like, I see the big picture here. Absolutely, because we in it already, you know what I mean? So yes, and if it doesn't work, then of course it doesn't work, you know? But I didn't want it to not work because I didn't have the support system, professionally, friendship, spiritual, emotional, whatever, all the ways. And so, you know, when I went to complain and say, I feel like a princess in a glass house, no one understood that. You know, I said, I don't have anyone here to even talk to. You know, I have to really try to figure out, why does this young lady on the island want to be my friend? Is it because I'm the first lady? Is it because she's trying to get close to him? Is it because she wants a job? What are the reasons, really? Which left me lonely a lot, you know, and I became the poster child for Turks and Caicos. So I was traveling all kind of places, but I'm learning as I go. You know, it was a lot of times that I had to, you know, introduce him or something like that on the rim. That was like, First Lady, you're going to introduce Premier. And I'm like, where are we? And who am I addressing, really? And what do you want me to say? And what do I leave out? And good evening. And thank you all for being here. You know, if I wasn't an actress, I don't think that I would have been able to take on that role because it was definitely that. But looking back on it, I did a great job. I did a good job, you know, and I brought things to Turks and employed people there. And there is a whole island full of people that love me for what I did.
Are you and Vivica good now?
We are good now.
How did you guys find your way back?
I saw her on a red-eye flight. We were both going to Atlanta. And I had my hood on and my glasses, and she had hers on over there. And she walked over there to me. And she says, hi. And I looked up. And I had to figure out if, you know, this was going to be it or if this was going to be it, you know. And I said, how you doing? Because then the pain comes back, you know. Even when you talk about it, it's like, oh, you know. And she said, I'd like to talk to you. And I said, that would be good. I said, maybe we can change our seat to sit by each other. She said, you know, I think it'd be no problem. And we actually ended up sitting next to each other. So it was nobody but God. And we talked the entire flight. She did not know all of the things that I was going through. I had kept a lot of the things, you know, quiet, as you do in a marriage. Your business is yours, you know. And she apologized to me. She said, I'm so sorry. I was dealing with my own, you know, stuff. And I did not know, you know. And I just felt good about that because when you don't know, and then you find out and then you even learn from your mistakes. And so for us to bridge that gap, I would want for every other friends that's out there that's been on the outs to be able to say that you can manifest a better relationship and get close again and not just throw it away. It's possible. And we are that for a lot of people. We've come back together and we're close and cool.
Amen. Amen. So you mentioned All of Us. Obviously, that was a show created by Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, and it was a sort of like based on real life story. What we've seen the past recent years is obviously, this sort of entanglement that has happened in their relationship.
Entanglement. I used that word one time. Okay.
Just once?
Just once. I didn't know the damn word at first until they mentioned it. I was like, entanglement. Okay. I want one of those, Do I? Okay.
Were you surprised about the entanglement announcement?
I mean, I'm not surprised about anything, I was just kind of like, oh, wow, and then I was like, oh, wow, we knowing. Like, I felt like that was really private. Like, that could stay within the family. Like, I have absolutely learned about TMI for real. I've even said some things that I feel like, girl, really? Why did you say that? Or I didn't mean it like that. Or that should have been amongst friends or whatever, And I do that now, but I just feel like from then it went downhill with all of the information just being spilled out,
When you saw Will Smith slap Chris Rock
Mm.
in honor of defending his wife,
Mm.
was that the behavior of the Will Smith that you knew?
No. Ooh, and I love Will today. He is just so charming, has never changed towards me, and then so talented and just so down to earth and so fun. He's fun. They are fun, till I did not see that slap coming. I understand it, though.
How? Why?
Because then you just hear me say I would want to whoop the shit out of Nicole.
Oh, well, but that's... Well,
in that way. That's the only way I'm talking about. But,
In your defense... that was an affair.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I don't condone it.
Yeah.
He's bigger than that, and I think that he could have composed himself, especially because of where he was. And especially because now we know all the shenanigans is going on. It's like you protecting against what and who? She can do that herself. She was laughing. You know what I mean? And then I don't know what happened that made him just go up there, but it was like, oh, no. And then that'll be forever something that we will remember, And unfortunately, the drama sells. And so that's always going to be here. That's going to be him talking about that. Like, I got to talk about my damn divorce. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be that.
I want to address this and move on from it. Since that slap, I'm pretty sure you've seen this. There's been tons of conversations, and a lot of them are from Black men who feel like Jada Pinkett Smith isn't worthy of having Will. And that this woman has sat there, had this entanglement with August Alsina. Mm-hmm. Will Smith is revered, as you said, like he's a Libra like us. He's very charming. He's the good guy. He's a superhero. He's a great actor, an Oscar award-winning actor. Mm-hmm. They feel like this woman was envious of this man's career, and instead of, this is what they're saying, mm-hmm. instead of reaching to grab this man's arm as he approaches the stage, to be like, no, mm-hmm. they feel like she marveled in all of this, and because of that, this man's career has been tarnished, and they feel like Jada Pinkett does not deserve Will Smith at all. What do you say to those people who believe that?
I couldn't say that because we don't know what she's had to deal with behind closed doors. What she's guilty of is airing their dirty laundry, and it looks so one-sided. So now she's looking like the bad person, that she did all this stuff to Will, and that maybe he's squeaky clean because that's how we know him, the Fresh Prince, I'm sure it's more to it. I hate the way that she did it. I feel like, with all her growth and sitting at the red table and all of a sudden being able to tell people about their life, that somebody should have told her about her life and should have said, keep your life a little bit more private. That's what I would have wished. People saying that she doesn't deserve him. Hey, they've been together for damn near 30 years already. You know what I mean? So, like they say, bad marriage for life. If that's what they, condone, then that's what it is,
Yeah, yeah. Are you two friends?
We see, I'm kind of like, because I don't want to put 20 on 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously, when we were filming all of us, we were much closer
Mhm.
then. I saw them, at least once a week, and then we would vacation, together. They came to Turks and Caicos Islands for me, but I haven't seen Jada since the Richard premiere. And I think Will either. But Will is gonna be Will. He welcomes me with open arms. El Reezy is what he calls me, When I went to her and said, "Hey, how you doing?" She says, "I'm good. How are you?" And I said, "I'm fine." And I went on inside and took
What
a
is that
seat.
about?
I didn't know what that was about. I didn't know if she was kind of, I don't know if she heard my entanglement joke or whatever, because I said, I can get in an entanglement with Will. Come on over here. But, I said it jokingly because obviously, they were my boss and I love them dearly, you know what I mean, no matter what they go through. But I would say we're more than associates. We're not, hanging at her house and she's hanging at my house, although I've been to her house, but we haven't spoken in, a couple of years, so.
Yeah. You did Cocktails with Queens.
Yes.
It was a huge hit. It was you, Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, Claudia Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately it became like the go-to show to watch, right? On Fox Soul. Like Monday nights, it was like, this is what we're going to like watch. And it was fun to see our legends be themselves. Like not be the character that you ladies play. When you were doing Cocktails with Queens, was it difficult for you to do that show because you were giving your opinion, and sometimes you're giving your opinions on people who are in your inner circle, Black Hollywood?
No, because the majority of my people know that I'm a jokester, and I'll say things like ha 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 sarcastically and mean it still, but the show for me was done during the pandemic. And it gave us a reason to get dressed once a week and just have some fun and just let off some steam and talk about things that's trending, all things that's gossipy and all of that, And at first it was cool until it was like LisaRaye said. And I was like, LisaRaye said, what now? You know what I mean? And I wasn't even keeping up with it because it was just all in fun, And it became that for me. And that was something that I was not ready for, nor did I want. Because I am learning to be more of a private person myself and respect the boundaries of others, especially my people that's in entertainment, because I've done some things that I'm going, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I'm sure that they have too. And I don't want to be the one to bring it out and out them. You know what I mean? If you're not, I'm not, And so it became a show for me that I no longer wanted to do and be a part of anymore.
You quit?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Is that the reason why the show got canceled?
Oh, see, look at you.
I mean, because the thing is this. Listen, you were, and follow the story. When Cocktails with Queens would trend and when the blogs would pick it up, it would be because of your opinion.
No.
It would be because of things you said.
And I meant everything I said too,
Yeah.
Still to this day.
So without the, the unfiltered commentary in your, like you're the homegirl, and so your delivery is I always thought it was funny. And I never ever for 1 second thought you were mean-spirited, right?
Never. Yeah.
So if you remove the unfiltered, woman from the show that the audience loves, because it's like, what LisaRaye gonna say now? Mm-hmm. Do they feel like there's no show without LisaRaye?
Listen, it became more troublesome for me because I'm filming and I'm in Africa. I'm doing a movie in Italy, and now I got to stay up to 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning to do the show because of the time difference, and now I have to be on set at 6 a.m. It was just a lot even for that one night, you know what I mean? And then I was dealing with my mom. My mom was sick and I was her caretaker, so that was going downhill. So it was more than what I wanted to do for that little paycheck. It wasn't enough for me, You know, at first it was just cool because it was just like, let me just pick up this, just like as Vivica was saying, me pick up these coins, you know what I'm saying, and keep it moving, But then you start asking for videos, and then you start having meetings, and I said, hey, y'all get Monday night for 1 hour. That's it. Anything else is a bonus, is extra. Now you asking one ask deserves another ask, and I'm asking for a raise. Then you want to ask me for some other shit, I'm asking for some shit too. And then when it didn't happen, I still stuck in there, because we had, big dreams of maybe going into the studio, but I really had to pull the ladies aside and say, I'm, really not feeling this, and it's really not my thing. And I called them individually. A lot of times Claudia and Selena and I would still stay on after we go off air, and we talk, and we all became so very close, you know what I mean? Because they knew what I was dealing with as well. We all would know what each other was dealing with. And when I said that, I no longer want to do it, and so I called, the producer, and I said that, no hard feelings or whatever, but I'm just in a different place, And then a couple of weeks after that, the show had went down.
Were you blamed for it?
I don't know. I didn't never hear that. So I don't think so. But if I am, I don't give a shit. Because I know that I don't care what it was for. I didn't feel it no more. So, I'm going to move on,
You are one of a kind. Don't you ever change.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're seeing you on Queen's Court.
I'm still a queen. Everywhere I go. Queen, baby.
It's fitting for you. By the way, that marketing photo shoot.
That billboard that I got, I'm in the middle. Pow.
It's everything. And I was surprised that you would do a dating show. What made you say yes to Queen's Court? Was it Will Packer's affiliation to it? Like, what made you say yes?
It was Will Packer's call to me.
Will Packer called you directly.
He did. He called me and he said that he has this show, and I've probably seen the first season. It was Tamar and Evelyn and Nivea. And I said, yeah, I've seen it, And he said, we on strike right now. Reality can film. I'm filming. Think this would be a good look for you. Come on, no, we've been wanting to work together, but not in this capacity, but this is something. And I was like, sold. I had never worked with Peacock before, a reputable network, and I said, absolutely. And you make moves like that, when you're in position to. You know what I mean? And so I remember when I found out that Will was producing the Oscars, and I called him, was like, bravo, brother, bravo. You know what I mean? And so there's still relationship there. Yeah. Now, do I want to be in his next film? Yes, I do. But I'll be waiting.
Fight Night Part 2.
Hello. So I had reasons to want to do it. You know what I mean? I knew that he wasn't going to do anything shabby. I knew he was going to do something with integrity. I knew that this was going to be a grown show. And who don't like love? I like love like everybody else. And if I woulda, coulda, shoulda, then let's do it. If not, then I'm not losing anything. I had a great time filming it. The fellas was wonderful. Producers and director, marvelous. They helped me get through the death of my mom and the death of my aunt, which happened when I was filming. So I can look at certain scenes and go, yep, I was up all night crying, you can tell. You know what I mean? But my dates was fun. The guys that I walked away with, we're friends now. You can absolutely meet someone and 2 weeks with them, 3 weeks with them, 4 weeks. You're going to find something about them that makes you all have a common ground that you can talk about. I love people. I love talking. I love entertaining. I love relationships. So all those fellas, I sat with them almost every night when the cameras was off, just chitting, chatting, and talking it up. And they were like, whoa, who would have thought that we'd be in the back of this house on the patio just listening to music and tapping on the furniture and just dancing. And right, because that's the part of life that people don't get a chance to see. And I bring it to life. I had a fantastic time.
What was it like working with K. Michelle and Delicious? I'm sorry, London.
There you go. K. Michelle, I left with a sister friend.
Mm.
Definitely. I saw her growth. I saw her pain. I saw her talent. I did not know a lot about her or London. I heard what I hear, you know what I mean? And it's not always all good, but I got that too, And so I went in with an open mind. I did not want to share a house with women because I already came from a house, my own house with just a lot of estrogen, you know what I mean? So I was like, ugh. But it was times that I would be in Kay's room and she was rocking me while I was crying. We pray together. I got an opportunity to listen to her country music, which that is what she's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you that music, that is her. I got an opportunity to see what her struggles were and how I can help her. Like I left that house with a sister friend for real.
Mm.
Not so much with London, only because we didn't get a chance to vibe as much because she didn't stay in the house as much. She had other things that was going on that she had to attend to. So she was in and out, in and out. So we made the best of that because I had already known her before. She had interviewed me on her radio show in Detroit before. She had been to my house before. We had seen and partied before. So there was already camaraderie there, already. So I was just glad that there was a show to showcase Black women that is looking for love and finding a sisterhood.
What was fascinating was the fact that one of the men was the ex of your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So when you saw him, explain that to us because that doesn't happen every day.
I know. And it couldn't have been strings pulled by producers because they had no idea. So
the producers did not know that.
No, it happened real time. So I saw him, and again, my daughter and him had dated maybe over 7 years ago or so. 7, 8 years ago. Oh, even more than that, because my grandbaby is 7. So maybe 10 years ago now. And I had given him an opportunity on Single Ladies when I was filming to be in one of the scenes. So I knew that he wanted to be an up and coming, And every now and then we'll talk. He'll say Happy Mother's Day and Merry Christmas or whatever, So when I saw him, I was thinking, what are you doing here? It was a joke inside for me. And I was like, let me give him some camera time, is what I was thinking. And so that's why I was like, let me go over here because I can tell that he was avoiding me. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, you ain't got to avoid me. Like, I know what you're here for. Obviously it's not going to happen with you and I, but maybe I can take this opportunity to see how much you've grown because I know what you and my daughter went through and she told me the truth about your relationship. So I'm going to take this, moment to kind of find out where is your head at now, kind of thing. But he laid it on me. He gave me some information that made me go, I did not know that. And again, nothing that I was embarrassed about. I don't think that will ever be, especially when it comes to family because I'm more of a support, but I was shocked, and I felt bad. And I definitely felt bad having him across from me and seeing the pain that he was going through. The mama bearing me is the first and foremost person that came out, and I wished him nothing but luck. And I said, obviously, this won't happen, but I hope that you do find love because everybody deserves love. But I felt like after that, and they said, cut, I said, y'all, I done gave y'all first good episode. But I knew I was going to give them good TV anyway, so.
Oh, no, you're great television. And even, listen, and you're so transparent because even the FaceTime call to Kai, your daughter, you learning, obviously, through him about the termination of the pregnancy and just seeing how emotional you got. What was going on in y'all relationship at that time to where she didn't feel the need to share that with you?
I think it's just a mama-daughter relationship. If she hadn't found her way through life yet and figured out what she wanted to do. So she wasn't in school. She wasn't working. She wasn't doing any of that. And then to come home and say, I'm pregnant would make any mama go, what? What part of the game is this? You know what I mean? And I did the same thing with my mother. I never told my mother when I got pregnant and terminated a pregnancy. So I didn't feel bad that, she didn't tell me. It wasn't that at all. I was glad that she handled her business. I look at my granddaughter now and my tears came from the joy of me looking at my daughter saying, you have grown. You made your decision and you stuck by it. I'm going to honor that. You gave me a beautiful granddaughter that I'm glad that the growth from there to there allowed you to have this daughter, granddaughter for me, and we are even in a different place. Thank you.
So we see you in Queen's Court, and there's like this whole thing with reboots. These iconic shows that are rebooting. Single Ladies is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Mine too. Stacey Littlejohn.
Yes,
Right.
no. Shout out to Stacey Littlejohn, Queen Latifah. It was amazing. Would you ever do a reboot of Single Ladies?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And I think it's necessary. I think it's needed. Especially because even when I did Single Ladies and I was in my 40s and the other girls was in their 30s, I thought that it was great to show mature love. Just love wins. Love wins no matter what, you know what I mean? And you show the ups and downs and you show the eye candy, not just from the women's perspective, but from the men's perspective as well. Men talk just as much as we do, And you in a partnership goes through some things that you wish that didn't happen, that you were embarrassed about, that you want to sweep under the rug, but you still stay. What are some of those things? And what are some of the deal breakers too? That's life. So I believe that Single Ladies was right there with Girlfriends. When we had Girlfriends, we was like rooting for all the characters. That's how Single Ladies was. We were sharp. We gave you fashion. Oh, did we give you fashion? I ain't never wore so much color. They would ask my opinion about, what do you think about that? It was like, it's bright. You know what I mean? But I'm wearing it. You know what I mean? And I just love the character. I just hate that we finished before Keisha was awarded her king. I think her and Malcolm should have really just flew off in the sunset because he was like, life imitating art.
That's true.
It is. It's like I had the man that was successful. He loved me. We both had game. We both had swag. We knew how to dress. We knew about game. Like we were on it. You know what I mean? And neither one of us played any games. It's like, oh, you gonna do that? Okay, I'm gonna do this over here. But then find our way back to each other. And that's just how life is. And I hate that they didn't really get a chance to seal the deal.
Would you reboot it with the same cast?
Yes.
So you and Stacey Dash would be good?
Yes. Because I know that you heard about that too.
Well, no, that you almost got into a physical fight with Stacey Dash.
I just don't like that, the way that sounds, a physical fight. I'm not into fighting. I'm just into...
Respect.
Exactly. And I'm not going to give it and I'm not going to receive it.
And I also think this too, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I think I heard that, listen, Stacey Dash at that time, and that's at that time, I don't know how she is now, but was a prima donna, a diva on set, but wasn't a lot of it towards the crew. And
It wasn't towards me.
I was
going to say,
and your team respect for workplace. And I wanted to make sure that was clear. It wasn't towards you.
It was not. And we were friends. And even afterwards, after they made more of it than what it was, I had to go to her and go, are we good? Or am I to believe what's going on? Like, what's something? She was like, no, we're good. I was like, okay. Because I didn't know we had a problem before that. You know what I mean? So everybody made something up that was not that, And I even understood when it happened. Because it was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was take after take. Her man was in town. It was like, and we normally say, hey, girl, come on. I want this. I need to get home. And we like, okay, come on. We do that for each other.
Yeah.
So I understood. She was like, come on, But when it flipped, and I just was like, girl, just do what the director tell you. And then we can get out of here, I just didn't like the way she handled it, or that the way she thought it was going to go down. I was like, no, I'm not the one or the two. So, stop that, please.
So we look at life now. It's 2024. You are as beautiful as ever. Are you in love?
Yeah.
You're in love?
Oh my God, yes.
You got a good man, Savannah?
No, I have a 7-year-old.
You got me.
And she is everything.
What about a man?
I was in a relationship for like maybe 2.5 years, but when my mom passed, I went dark, and he did not know how to handle that situation. To me, if you leave someone in the midst of a funeral and you don't know how to pay respects, you're just not man enough for me. And so I'm glad that I saw that, because at that time, that's when you can pick me up. Any other time, I'm good, And so it gave me a real strong message to say, ooh, thank you, I dodged a bullet. And so from that, to me, this last year has been a little rough for me, you know. And so I've been getting more into me, and I want to do everything intentional. Everything moving forward, everything is intentional. Even my nose is like no for a reason, you know. And so, you know, I feel like I'm making space and room now, not just and only for me and my family, but for someone to come in my life and me really give it the time. I couldn't do it even in Queen's Court. You know, I was just a mess, really. And I was like, I need to love on me first.
I don't want to get all weird, but I'm very spiritual, and I feel like your mom spoke to me. So your mom revealed to you about this man that you were with for 2.5 years.
Okay.
Your mother obviously is your guardian angel. You know that, right? So your mother is your permanent guardian angel. And your mother, a spirit is telling me that your mother made sure to let you know he's not for you.
Okay.
So the reason why he did not show up for you was your mother's way of revealing that to you so that you won't waste your time with him anymore. And your mother, there's somebody else out there for you.
I believe that.
But that had to be seen. And the reason why I'm feeling that too is because I know that somebody else went through that. And your mother is reminding me, like, yes, you know somebody that went through that. Tell her that's what happened. Your mama's sassy.
Still protecting me.
Yeah, that was her way of saying, like, no, nah. I have to reveal that to you so that you don't waste another moment.
And I normally, you know, and I don't. And I knew that then.
Okay, good.
I knew that when he left and did not attend the funeral, because he asked for my hand in marriage to my mom. And so my thing is, I don't know what you're feeling and thinking that can go on at a funeral and what you're insecure about, but you would come to pay respects to my mom. But you didn't even do that. You overlooked that and my feelings. It was like, oh, this is a wrap. And so because I have never spoken to him again after that, I am cool with it. And I am friends with all of my exes, but he can stay exactly where he at.
See? So okay, good. Your mama's okay, good. And again, I don't want to impose, but I felt it overwhelmingly, and I had no idea you don't speak to him. So that goes to show you that that was a protection.
Yeah, and I've been getting that, and I prayed, and I asked my mother before she left this earth, and I said, please come back and talk to me and let me know that I can communicate with you. Let me know you're there, you know, please. And she's done it a couple of times. So if it don't never happen again, which I hope it does, but if it never happens again, she has given me those little moments to say, I lived, baby. I'm proud of you. You're smart. You're pretty. You're kind. You's important. No. But, you know, I left you here for a reason. Now you do what I did. Make sure that your babies are going to be okay. Because my family, my mother and my father, make sure that I'm okay even now. And it felt good to be able to say, I don't need it right now. I'm going to sign it back over for my kids because I'm successful. I'm a boss.
I'm proud of you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, LisaRaye McCoy.